What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to share with you some of the questions that I get on Quora as a mechanic. By the way, this video is sponsored by Rain Eater Wiper Blades. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can click on the link. It'll take you directly to the website where you can put in your year, make, model, and the link is good for 5% off and free shipping. I'll leave that down there in the link, in the description, I'm sorry. But some of the questions I get, some of these are common sense. Some of these are like, I don't even know how to answer that. I'm not even going to attempt to answer that. A quick Google search or something like that would be wasting your time typing the question when you could actually just type that into Google and, you know, get your answer. Here's one. How long do most car headliners last for? How am I supposed to answer that? Brand new car, I don't know. Do you smoke in your vehicle? I mean, there's all sorts of factors that go into it. What is 0W16 oil and how is it different than 0W20? 016 is a new oil for Toyotas. They have very small oil journals inside their engine. How does it differ from 0W20? Well, at cold temperature it's a 0 weight. At operating temperature, one is a 16 weight, one is a 20 weight. So they're different. Where does the fuel injector inject fuel? Kind of common sense. For an engine to run, you need air, fuel, compression, and spark. A fuel injector injects the fuel into the combustion chamber, either through ports, behind the intake valve, or direct injection directly into the cylinder, where the air does not mix with the fuel in the intake runner. Is 10% oil life bad? Well, 100% is good. 10% means you use 90% of it. I'd say it's time to change your oil. Would using too much exhaust eventually burn out an engine's oil? Let me read that again. Would using too much exhaust eventually burn out an engine's oil? I don't even know what they're trying to type there. I'm not even... when they have been popular manufacturers for decades, why is Volkswagen rebranding? Maybe it's a smart business move for them. I don't know. This is kind of a no-brainer and they answered their own question. Does direct fuel injection use fuel injectors? Yes. I don't even know why this one's in the mechanic questions. What happens if you are late for Walmart grocery pickup? Does Walmart pick up, bring it to your car? Call Walmart and ask them. How much does it cost to fix a knocking engine? Depends on why it's knocking. Probably going to have to tear the whole engine down and rebuild it. You might as well just do an engine swap. What do I do with a seized engine car? Swap the engine? I don't know. Get a new car? Why does our car's head gaskets leak oil? What would cause a head gasket to leak oil? What is the best fuel injection conversion kit? That's actually not a dumb question. There's many different kind of fuel injection conversions out there. It depends on what kind of car you're building or what you're trying to get out of it. Can head gaskets leak oil, and what would cause a head gasket to leak oil? What is the rarest Dodge Charger? None of them are rare. They're all junk. Chargers are crap. What engine is in a 1968 Dodge Charger? Why do cars become less fuel efficient as they age? Is this normal or can anything be done? Well, as they age, more wear is on the inside of the engine. Piston rings wear out, fuel injectors get dirty. Yes, there are things that you can do. Change your oil on time, change your air filter, put a fuel system injector cleaner in the fuel tank, keep your airs properly pressurized. Where can I find my auto loan account number? Log into your account. Can overfilling oil cause a check engine light? Not that I've seen. Is STB a good fuel injector cleaner? It's not bad. I prefer AMSOIL Performance Improver. I am your authorized AMSOIL dealer as well. I'll leave a link for that down there. How do start-stop systems cause engine wear? A lot of people think that they cause a lot of engine wear, but they're actually pretty advanced. They don't wear out like you think they would, but you're constantly starting and stopping. So yes, some wear will take place. Does stop leak actually work? And how long does Titan oil stop leak take to work? Well, if you have a leak and you put stop leak in there, does it work? It's supposed to, but it's thick. So if it's stopping the oil leak, imagine what it's doing to the inside of your engine. Clogging everything else up. I wouldn't use it. Just fix the oil leak. What is the purpose of the air bleed in an injector nozzle? Air bleed. Do modern cars need to be waxed? It's entirely up to you. I've waxed the car like one time in my life. How long do most Toyota Matrix last for? Depends on how you drive it. How many months can you go without an oil change? What happens if the oil change is overdue? It's not like your car is going to instantly blow up. Okay? Most new cars have a oil indicator. How many months? Rule of thumb, three months, 3,000 miles. Some are 5 months, 5,000 miles. Some are 6 months, 10,000 miles. What happens if the oil change is overdue? Your oil is worn out. Wear will begin to take place, but it's not going to happen immediately. Your engine's not going to blow up. Now, that doesn't mean go 5,000 miles over an oil change. 100, 200, 500. Get it changed as soon as you can. Is W Motors hypercar Lycan a scam? Never heard of it. How do you know if your car is on its last leg? I could make a joke out of this, but if your dash lights up like a Christmas tree, your engine's running very rough, it's probably going to cost a lot of money to fix it. It's probably on its last leg. If buying premium gasoline keeps the engine cleaner and ultimately the MPG very high, would it lengthen the life of the vehicle as well? That is a myth. Premium gasoline does not keep the engine cleaner. All gasolines at gasoline stations have additives in them to help maintain your fuel system. Why would you need to run a premium gasoline if your car doesn't call for it? It's usually for high compression engines, sports cars, high-end cars, sport bikes, stuff like that. Why do I have to shake the positive cable for the battery on occasion before my car will start? The positive connections to the battery are tight. The connection to the battery might be tight, but the wire may be loose. Do cars with gasoline direct injection, GDI, require specialized maintenance to prevent fuel system clogging and engine carbon buildup? Okay, that's actually pretty good. Direct injection sprays the fuel directly into the cylinder without mixing it with the air that's coming in from the intake valve. Therefore, it does not get carbon builds up on the valve and on the piston and all that stuff. Now, they don't require specialized maintenance. You can pull the injectors out and clean them and all that good stuff. You can run an injector cleaner through it that'll clean the injector tips. However, my 28 Mustang GT, or 2018, excuse me, it utilizes port fuel injection and direct injection, depending on the RPMs, how fast you're going and stuff like that. So using a fuel injector cleaner will actually clean it. Direct injection is a little bit more complicated. It uses a high pressure fuel pump, which is usually located on a camshaft somewhere to, like this Mustang, takes 48 PSI from the fuel pump and then turns it into 2,900 PSI. Is Lucas stop leak bad for your engine? How long does it take Lucas oil stop leak to work? Back again to the stop leak. If your engine's leaking oil, fix the oil leak. If it's a stop leak and it stopping the leak on your car somewhere on a gasket, imagine what it's doing to the inside. Can overfilling engine oil cause a leak? Depends on how overfull. Usually you don't want it to be overfull. Will it technically cause a leak? No, not really. Never really seen that. It's usually just gaskets fail. Can you wash your engine while it's running? Does the Pope shit in the woods? Not going to hurt it. Don't use a pressure washer because then you're going to start cutting electrical cables. It's been mandated that all vehicles must display at least one bumper sticker. What will yours say? I've never heard of that. I don't want a bumper sticker. Why would I don't want, no. Why would you mandate putting a bumper sticker? Oh, Jesus. Why does a dead car battery never stop working while a person is driving and is only noticeable when they attempt to start it again? Well, the battery is there to power up the modules and to start the car. Now, if the battery goes dead while you're driving, the alternator is going to try to put somewhat of a charge on it. Modules, on the other hand, are going to start going crazy on newer cars, and they're going to start shutting things off. It's called safe mode or limp mode. It's going to start turn off the AC, turn off the radio, cruise control won't work, any of that stuff, because it's trying to save power so you can get to a shop to get it diagnosed. And when you shut it off, that's because there's no more cranking amps to start the car. Is it okay to use synthetic 0W20 oil in my 1990 vintage Corvette, which at the time called for 10W30? Okay. If it calls for 10W30, why would you put a thinner oil in it? No. Can you tell if your car engine has water inside, and what can you do to fix it? Pull the dipstick. If it looks like chocolate milk, you got water in it. What can you do to fix it? Drain the oil and find out where the water's coming from. What does your car sound like when it needs an oil change? How do you know if you need the oil of your car changed? What does it sound like when your car needs an oil change? Some cars don't make any noise at all. Some cars will start to rattle because they're low on oil because it consumed it, it burned it. How do you know if you need the oil of your car changed? If you have a newer car, oil life indicator. If you don't have a newer car with an oil life indicator, how long has it been since you changed your oil mileage wise? Come on, common rule of thumb, 3 months, 3,000 miles. If you don't want to go by that, 5 months, 5,000 miles, that's what Ford recommends. Which is better, a Honda CR-V or a Subaru Forester? I'm going to go with a Honda CR-V. Subaru's junk. I used to work there. Can you drive your car hard after an oil change? Can you drive your car hard after an oil change? Yes. I would let it warm up though. How often do you change the oil if you don't drive much? What is the recommended oil change interval? Manufacturer specs, depending on your car. Again, Ford, 5,000 miles, 5 months. Rule of thumb, 3,000 miles, 3 months. Can you tighten a car battery straps while the car is off without getting shocked? You can tighten it with the car running without it getting shocked. As long as you don't touch the two together, that's where you get shocked. Oh man. How much does it cost to fix engine compression? It depends on what's wrong with it. Is it the piston rings? Is it the valves? It just really depends. How do I know if a dealer really changed my oil? Ask them. No, I'm just kidding. Pull your dipstick. Does it look clean? Should I let my car run after putting oil in it? Yeah, so it'll fill up the oil filter. Start it, wait for the oil light to go off, good to go. Double check. Have you ever found a hidden feature in a car after owning it for years? No. I pretty much know all the features of the car. How do I fix a crack in my car battery? Replace it. What kind of mechanic should I take a car to for a pre-purchase inspection? Any mechanic that you trust. This doesn't make any sense. What are some of the best auto brands to use on any Ford cars? I don't get it. Why would the entire panel of a fender and driver's side door need to be replaced because of a large dent? Is it possible to remove the metal, pull the dent out from the other side, and put it back in place? If that's what you want to do, I don't see a problem with it. What matters more, motor oil or credit cards? Well, motor oil so your engine will run? How wide is a Ford F-150? That wide. My diesel car filled with petrol, what can I do? Drain it and fill it with diesel. Don't start it. Oh man, they just go on. How long does it take for car scratches to rust? If it's down to the metal, I don't know. It also depends on where you live. Do you live like near the ocean or do you live out in the middle of the country? Is it okay to buy a car with a replaced engine? I don't see why not, but test drive it. Have a Carfax report on it if it's possible. Have another mechanic look at it to make sure everything's been done right. Don't just go buy it because I said they had an engine in it. Is this the end for gas cars? God, I hope not. What are some things to do before you junk your car for cash? Take everything out of it. That's number one. Have the title, number two. What's your experience driving a Subaru Outback or a Forester? Why should I get one over the other? Well, I worked at a Subaru dealership. They both suck. How long does a GMC Sonoma last? As long as you let it last. Maintain it. I'm not a GM fan either, but... Would you recommend a Dodge Ram 1500 to a first-time truck buyer?
Son of a bitch!
No, I wouldn't recommend Dodge anything. Unless you want to spend a lot of time at the dealership. We all know what Dodge stands for. Stay away, avoid, steer clear. No par. Well, trying to start a stalled car too many times, blow head gaskets and exhaust gaskets. No, but it'll wear out your starter. Is a check engine light for a fuel cap a serious issue? Oh, a fuel cap is technically defined as a large evap leak, not a small. It's just gas vapors escaping into the atmosphere when they're actually supposed to be contained in the evap system, recirculated and burned or vented at a periodic time. It's not going to hurt your car, but replace your fuel cap. What is the most common cause of a misfire? Man, a coil, spark plugs, not enough air, not enough fuel, timing, like, it'd be anything. How do you know if you need more oil in your car? How long is oil good for in a car? Check your dipstick. It's got a full mark on it. If it needs some, add it. How do you know how long is oil good for? Again, rule of thumb, 3,000 miles, 3 months. What are the effects, if any, of using regular gas in a car that recommends premium? Not a bad question at all. The effects would be pre-ignition and spark knock. It'll start knocking its butt off on the top end because it's pre-detonating. Just throw some octane booster. How long is the Texas vehicle inspection good for? A year, I guess. So, my car has a slow oil leak. Should I add a little extra oil? No, let it all run out. Yes, add some oil, then find out where the leak's coming from and fix it. Come on. It's questions like these, people. A quick Google search, some of those questions don't even need to be asked. It's common sense. If you see fluid coming out of your vehicle It's not supposed to come out. It's supposed to be inside. Fix it. Find out where it's coming from and fix it. I'm sorry about the rant, but I get these questions all the time, and it's so hard to keep up with them, and trust me, you don't want to deal with that. Anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. I just wanted to share some of these questions with you.